Once upon a time, there lived a young boy called Esumoyo in the village of Okuji. He was 16 years old. He was a very good wrestler and often beat his age mates during wrestling combats on yam festival celebrations period. In the village of Okuji, before yam was harvested and eaten, the villagers will first of all offer some of these yams, the new yams, to the gods of the land and their ancestors. The period was called the New Yam Festival. During the New Yam Festival, various activities were held to make the occasion grand. They would prepare roasted yams and use the scraped soot from the back of the yam to prepare a traditional soup with oil, and they will add big dry fishes to make it all up and palatable. During that period, they will also prepare pounded yam and pepper soup and take them molded in little plates, earthenware bowls, to offer the gods and shrines in the land. They often offered it to the gods of the land for the good harvesting of the year. Then at night, they will all converge in the village square to wrestle. That was when the villagers always chose the best wrestlers of the year from each age groups. So it happened that every year Esumoyo often won. He always emerged as the winner of the wrestling bouts. For almost 4 years now, he had been wrestling his age mates down. After 4 yam seasons, no one could defeat Esumoyo. His parents noticed this and they called him one day to advise him about it all, because he began to notice that the glory of being the village best wrestler of his age group was getting into his head. He was becoming arrogant because of his strength and victory. His parents started to advise him to be cautious, because it was well known that during those yam festivals, celebration spirits known as Ndemo in his language often came out to fight with mortal men. And so, who are you, a small boy, to wrestle down spirits or to wrestle with spirits? Do you have the spiritual might to wage them? They asked him. So his parents drew his attention to that. And on that day, Esumoyo's best friend, known as Ezie, was with him in the house. Esumoyo's mother said, "My son Esumoyo, you are very strong and always win the village wrestling matches in our village. You must be very careful not to fight in them more, the spirits. Anytime they come out to fight with you, you must know them because they are different from humans. Do your best and walk away. Do you understand?" "Yes, mother," replied Esumoyo in acknowledgement. "I will try my best, mother, not to fight any in them more spirit." "Mother," she said. His father now turned to Esumoyo's friend and said, "Ezie, you are my son's best friend and you are always together. Please do not allow him to wrestle with them more the spirit." "Yes, sir," responded Ezie. "I'll try. I will always remind him not to fight with them or spirits, because we know they are very powerful." "That's all right then," said Esumoyo's parents as they left the two boys to themselves in the living room. So it turned out the next yam festival came and all the traditions were being performed. That evening, the wrestling matches began and different age groups started to wrestle. People were winning and some were failing until it got to Esumoyo's age group's turn. Esumoyo, the strongest of them all, Esumoyo bounced out and stood at the center of the wrestling ground, bouncing and waiting for anyone that would be able to challenge him or defeat him. He was the champion, and if defeated, the title will be given to the new winner. But if he won, the title will remain with him. People started coming out to wrestle with Esumoyo one by one, and he kept winning them. At the end, he had won them all. And as he was about to leave in joy, somebody came out of the crowd to challenge him. From his appearance, people could see that he was not human. Esumoyo noticed it and wanted to leave. But if he left the grounds, the newcomer will be declared the winner. He will be said to be afraid of the newcomer, and the position will be taken from him. So Esumoyo stood reminiscing the past, when his parents had warned him not to fight with the spirits in them more. His friend Ezie also noticed his hesitancy and was praying Esumoyo relinquish the position he held as the strongest and mightiest wrestler of his age group than to fight with Ndemo, the spirit that his parents had warned him against. But Esumoyo stood still, his thoughts going back and forth. At last the drum beat started pulsating, and Esumoyo started to pounce. He was bouncing and flexing his muscles, his muscular body, ready to fight. It was obvious he had made up his mind to fight and not to relinquish his position. As the fight was about to commence, Ezie remembered Esumoyo's parents' warnings and his promise not to allow him to fight the spirits. And he began to sing aloud to everyone's hearing, including Esumoyo's hearing. Esumoyo, Esumoyo, Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Esumoyo, Esumoyo, Esumoyo. Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Esumoyo. He was singing and cautioning him. Esumoyo, your mother and your father told you not to fight the fight with spirits. So Esumoyo, being the good friend that he was, and he had promised his friend's parents, that he would not allow him to fight or wrestle with the spirits. Tears of never giving up, for fear of being declared a loser, welled up in Esumoyo's eyes as he listened to his friend's warning song. But he charged at his opponent, the spirit, in them with all his might and anger. That's why should I lose to you, despite all the shouts and songs of Ezie, of Esumoyo, Esumoyo. Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Neini nadi gwani siba bang demo. Esumoyo. Esumoyo charged at the spirit and hit the spirit to the ground. Woo! Everywhere became silent. Not a single sound could be heard as the minutes ticked by. And suddenly, it was as though hell was let loose, and there was shouting and chaos everywhere. What had happened? Esumoyo had won the wrestling fight. The spirits had disappeared. But before they disappeared, Esumoyo was lying unconscious on the ground. As they sang his name as the strongest warrior and winner in the wrestling match, Esumoyo was being rushed down to the house of the strongest medicine man in the village. That's the end of the story. Please don't forget to share the videos to promote our cultural heritage. Thanks for watching.